Today is November 17th, 2025. It is Monday. This is going to be the very start of my weekly reflections. I am doing this as a way to motivate myself to actually basically keep on improving myself and see where I'm going to be at in a couple years into the future and see how much I've changed, how much I've grown, anything like that. So, past week, I know that I started reading In Cold Blood and also Heart of Darkness. I'm currently about 150-ish, 120 something pages in for each one of them, slowly progressing through them. I need to try to catch up to reach my yearly goal, so I am starting to read some comics on the side that I'm going to use. It's Invisible Compodium, I think it's called, Volume 1, and possibly the other volumes as well. It is pretty good, it's fun to read, so there's nothing to do with that. But yeah, I'm gonna try to keep up, catch up, and I'm trying to get ahead if I'm being honest, because I want to read a big book for my final book of the year. I want to actually potentially start the year off by reading a book, big one, through or ending the big book. I'm not sure. We'll see how it goes. But at the very least, I do want to finish that yearly goal. 52 books, a book a week. I'm 8 books away, so pretty close. News about where I am with the job and everything. Right now, entry-level software engineering positions are very difficult to get. A lot of people lost their jobs, and these are people that have years of experience. So we're having a lot of competition, not only from recent college grads, but also from people that have years of experience on industry. So it's not looking good. And I've also searched for positions in other office roles, and it is the same thing. It is very rough right now. It's very hard to get in. So, I've been trying to apply to other things. Right now, I got referenced into a position for 911 311. And I need to finish by today. I plan to finish the profile history, which is 39 pages long. I need 10 years of employment history, 10 years of residence history, and I think 7 to 10 references, which is, quite a bit. But I understand why they go about it. It is a civil kind of service, and it requires people to be, have a good background check. Fingers crossed that works, but it is supposed to, even if I do get accepted, it's a process of 2 to 3 months. So in the meantime, I'm gonna have to look for other modes of income, right, to actually be able to, pay for stuff and whatnot. Other than that, I've also started writing a novel. It's I'm trying to do a cosmic horror, and it's supposed to be from the point of view of 4 different characters. It's a magical world, right? So there is not in Earth, and each of the characters is unique. They're different species, and each species I want to build it so that they have different kind of like beliefs. Also, the way that they speak in their sentence structure is going to be different for the characters overall. And it is an undertaking, especially one of the characters. I'm trying to make it telepath, species that potentially does not, use words and is fully telepathic, right? They don't speak, they're underwater, and I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to pull that together. But, I'm doing steady progress. I've been journaling, and I've been dedicating an hour to reading, each book, an hour to writing, and an hour to game development. In game development, I'm currently going through and learning about state machines. I was originally making a character, but then I ran into some obstacles with the way that I was writing it. It was starting to get very wordy on the actual code of just the main character, and I wasn't even talking about the enemies. The enemies were very simple at the moment. They were just moving back and forth and potentially one hitting the opponent. But I had basically a Mario clone at the moment, but I want to make something more modern, more like maybe Cuphead-ish or Mario with Cuphead boss battles, if that makes sense. And I don't know if I want to do bullet hell or what type of combat yet, but I'll figure that out. Currently, I'm looking at state machines for different transitions between states and the way that it goes from idle to different stuff like that, right? Fighting, jumping, etc. And I also want to use that for the enemies. I know that there's other ways to code AI for enemies, like decision trees, and there was one more advanced one that I just don't remember the name of right now. The thing with those is that they might be too much overkill for regular enemies. I'm gonna see. I don't want to overthink things, which is normally what I do for anything. I overthink it. I over prepare, and before I even start actually working on things. So I'm trying to change that. I'm trying to be more about actions and less about getting everything figured out. I'll figure things out as I go along. Other than that, let's see. I renewed my driver license today. That's why I'm a little bit more upkept than usual. I went to the DMV. It was a quick process, but I had everything prepared ahead of time, and I was the first one in line, I guess, in the thing. I just got it done. It was pretty easy. Other than that, what else? If is there anything else of note other than journaling, the game development, the job thing? I don't think so. Just working out. The last, I've been trying to do it more steadily, but I do want to admit that last week I was sick. I had a flu and I didn't feel good at all. So, I'm just getting over it. So I didn't do much working out. I started again yesterday. Mostly pull-ups, burpees, push-ups, lifted some weights a bit. Just quick workout, nothing too serious. And I'm gonna try to continue doing that as well. Workout is about 30 minutes to an hour each day as well. Other than that, I think that's about it. I'm just going through things. A big one. This is the big one. This is more about my psyche and personality and stuff like that. I'm very I won't say shy per se. I don't think that's the right word, right? Because I can be very talkative and very what's the word, outgoing, right, for things that I like to do. But just for regular conversations or small talk or anything like that, it's not my forte. I usually don't. I'm not very good at it. So what I need to do is I just need more exposure, right? I feel that I don't know. It's one of those things that I feel like I overthink things and I get anxious a lot of times. It might be the caffeine that I've been drinking, even though I'm cutting back on it. But I can get anxious, in new interactions like those, and I'm trying to get over them. I think the best way is just exposure therapy. But compared to before, after I went through all of my, my, I guess I call it emo phase, but it was my a small amount of depression. I'm not gonna say that I was, in a terrible spot compared to a lot of other people, but yeah, it was rough for me. But yeah, other than that, I've been trying to get back to my cheerful self, and really, um, I'm not gonna say I'm back to the same levels I used to be, because end of high school, leaving high school for those years, I was so outgoing, and I was the most, I was, you can say, the loudest guy in the room. I was extremely cheerful. People loved to be around me. Had a bunch of friends, right, and all that stuff. But went through a very bad experience. Handled it terribly, and because of that, I burned a lot of bridges. So it's been one of those journeys. But yeah, I'm feeling I'm a lot better. I'm trying to fix some things, right, and I'm trying to create more boundaries in some ways, but at the same time being more outgoing, right? So I want to have healthy boundaries with people, right? and not be, clingy in any kind of way, or, I just want to be fully I don't know how to say it. I want to be fully independent. Like, well, I am kind of fully independent, but I want to be 100%, confident in myself to the point where I can, start uplifting other people around me, right? It's just the way that it is. I don't want to bring people down. I want to be somebody that can help people out, and somebody that, people want to be around. And yeah, I just want to be a good person. And I'm trying, but sometimes the old, anxiety monster, or the old, thing, the thing in the back of your head keeps on bringing you down. But yeah, other than that, I've been putting myself in situations that I'm normally not comfortable with. A lot more, like books, just even reading, right? I'm reading books that normally I would never even pick up. I'm trying to, you know, be more accepting of people, but at the same time, don't be, don't just cave into everything. Like, be accepting, but also give my opinion, and don't just follow the crowd. I don't like to follow the crowd. Even social media, I'm not doing that really anymore. But yeah, hopefully I can write the book. I'm slowly building it. Well, no, not hopefully. I will write the book, and I will have it published. My goal is by the end of next year, right? I should have a book published. If everything goes well, it might be sooner, right? Like, I'm doing good progress, but actually, I have the outline, but actually, executing some of the writing styles that I want to do, it's not easy. And then it has to be accessible for a lot of people to be able to read, right? I'm not looking for sales, but I'm just looking for something that I'm happy with. Um, Other than that, is yeah, I'm just living life, I guess. Slowly moving forward, becoming better, and yeah, just I'm happy. I can't complain. I'm happy. It is tough out there because of the economy, but you gotta look at the blessings you have in your life, right? You can't just look at the bad. It is rough sometimes. It is, not the best sometimes, but it is what it is. Oh, and I almost forgot. I'm not trying to be dramatic with this grayscale. If is that the right word? Monochrome. I don't know. I don't know what's up with my camera. It does this from time to time, and today it just decided to be black and white, and I just don't feel like doing fiddling around to try to figure out what's wrong with it. More than likely, it's just a driver update that it needs, or I just need to restart the computer or something like that. But it's not a big deal. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys. Well, not you guys. I'll talk to myself. I'll talk to myself again in I don't know, next week. I'm trying to make this weekly, so I have a clear path, and just I can hold myself accountable for things. Yeah, that's just it. Yeah, see you next time.